Alright, let's move right along here and we're going to set up our own level. So I'm going to use one that I haven't used before. Let's see. My characters are pretty much stylized for this little tutorial thing, so I'm going to keep it the same way. So I'll use the stylized sky dungeon, add that in. It's going to take a second. And the first thing I like to do while that's loading is grab some things that I'm going to need. So I'm going to need a boss spawner. I'll grab him, click on him. I'm going to hold shift, click on one of these wall weapons. I'm going to hold shift and click on this network player start. And another one. I'm going to take this spawner over here while holding shift. And I'm going to take this door just like that, and I'm going to take this zombie here, and I'm show you how these work in a second there. So I'm also going to take this mystery box, and I think that's pretty much it. Maybe I'll take this wall ammo, take that as well, and I think I can work off of that. So I hold control and push C to copy all those things, and then I'm going to open the new level. I don't know what it's even called. Sky Dungeon. Maps. This may have to compile shaders. And we'll open that up. Yes, okay. Save all. Alright, so this is our new map. So the first thing I do is I'm going to delete this player start out because I don't need it. And I don't know what this is. Maybe it's a post process. I'm going to leave that in there. What are we going to do? First thing I'm going to do is come down here, right click on the ground, edit, paste here. That'll bring all my stuff from the other level in. I'm going to raise that up. I'm going to move it out of the way so I can access it. Alright, so we have all of our stuff. And then I'm going to go to the world settings. If you don't have the world settings, you come up here to window, down to world settings is right here, and it'll bring it over here. And then in the game mode override, you're going to want to go to gameplay GM right here. And that all looks okay. Click save. Save all. And then we're going to start setting our level up. First thing I'm going to do is my player starts. I'm going to grab this one and this one. And I'm going to bring those over to the start of the map. This isn't going to be perfect. This is just an example of how to set your own map up. You'll probably put a lot more work into it than this. We'll do a bunch of advanced stuff later on with this as well. But for now, this will get you started. So my players are going to start up by this door. So right there. So they'll spawn in right here. And maybe I want to have 4 players in, so I will hold control, push W. And that'll duplicate these. I think in Unreal 5, the duplicate is something different. It's control something else, I think. Or you can use control C, control V. That'll do it as well. But Unreal 4, control W. Then I have my mystery box. So I'm going to put this down on this little pillar area down here. I'll drag this over, drop it down. And I'm going to push E to rotate. Drop it there. Then I'm going to put my boss spawner over where? Maybe over here, under this tree. So push W to bring this over. Over just like that. Bring them up. And E to rotate them around. And I'm going to put him over here, make sure he's raised a little bit above the ground, just like that. Now I am going to, very important, go to Window, Place Actors, and I'm going to search for Nav Mesh Bounds. Right here. Drag that into your scene. And we're going to do an advanced video in a little while on this Nav Mesh Bounds, but for now I'll keep it simple. So I'm going to push E to scale this out. I'm going to drag that all the way over so this covers everything in my map. or at least where the zombies can walk. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push P on my keyboard. P is in Peter. And then you'll see everywhere that the zombies can walk is painted green. So that's what we're looking for. That means that if I put a zombie here, he can walk all the way around here. That's exactly what we're looking for. Push P again to get rid of it because it looks okay. Then I'm going to take these two zombie spawners and the details panel. This is a start zone zombie, so I'm going to bring them over here. And I'm going to explain them zones to you guys in just a minute. So this zombie is going to spawn up here. So he's going to spawn behind these trees. I'm going to make this more advanced later on, but for now I'm going to keep it pretty simple. So I'm going to rotate him around. He's going to spawn in. Maybe I'll grab this rock and I'll duplicate this rock to kind of keep him segmented off. Maybe like this. Maybe I'll shrink it down a little. And maybe I'll make another one right here. And maybe like this. Just like that. Later on I'm going to build a barricade here, but for now that's okay. Maybe I'll make a cave, I don't know. So I'm going to push P again to make sure he can go through there, and he can. That all looks okay. And what else do we have? We have this zombie over here. We'll make the doors in a second. I also have a ammo and a wall buy. So I'm going to grab this wall buy over here. And I will put this on the pillar. This is my purchase ammo wall buy. So I'm just going to shove this on this pillar like this. So we can walk up to this and purchase ammunition. I'm going to rotate it around because I think it looks better like this. To get the perfect rotation on that, you can turn on these here snapping grids and you can get the right degree. So if I try rotating that, you'll see it's not in any increments, and it's hard to get it on like a 90 degree or a 180. So what I'm going to do, I'm just using Control Z to undo what I just did, but you can type, or you can click on this button here and it'll snap it so within 10 degrees, so I can easily get a 90 degree or a 180. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to come up here. And I think I have a wall buy right here. That's a grenade launcher. I'll bring that over. And maybe I'll just put that down on these rocks for now, maybe, oh, I can't really reach them there. I'll just stick it here for now. Like this. Doesn't have to be perfect for this because it's just for you guys. Nobody will ever play this game. Maybe your game, not my game. Not this one anyway. Then I think we're ready to test this. So I'm going to click play. We'll see what goes wrong. The lighting needs to be rebuilt. That's not a big issue. So I can come down here. I can purchase my grenade launcher. That works fine. Buy some ammo. Everything seems to be working. Hopefully our zombies spawn in. And they do. They're coming out of there. But maybe I want to have the zombies come from over here as well, where that boss comes from. So let's do that. So I'm going to grab this here, make sure the start zone is just start zone. I'm going to push Control W if you're on Unreal 4, and I'm going to duplicate them. And I'm going to drag another one over here. So what that'll do is I'll now have two sets of zombies spawning. Just like that. And maybe I want to gate that off a little better as well. So I'll duplicate this rock. I like that flower there, so maybe I will keep that there. Like this. And this will just set us up for a barricades tutorial later. Now our door. So these zombies are set up for the starting zone. which is great, but maybe you guys want to have another zone. So when you unlock a door, which is going to be right here, it's going to open zone_1. So when you click on your door blueprint, you'll have zone 1. I'm going to take this over here, and I'll explain this all out as I go. So we'll have this door over here, but I don't want to use this door. I want to make a new door because this doesn't really suit the level. So maybe this level has another set of doors somewhere. We'll take a look. I haven't worked with this asset yet, so we'll take a look and see. But I want the door to be here. So I am going to, on this door blueprint, I'm going to click on Edit Door. Then I'm going to browse to where the doors are. That'll take you to HGT Blueprints and Doors. I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to call mine, well, door 1 is okay. Sure, door 1. I'll open that up. I'm going to close out the original door because I don't want to mess that up. I can close out my base or my boss zombie. And when I open my door 1 blueprint, I'm going to go to Viewport right here. If you don't have Viewport, you go to Window, click on Viewport, and it'll bring it up. And you'll see this consists of 2 pieces to a door, and this is the trigger box. So when you enter this box, this is going to be where you're able to purchase the door. You want to stand inside of here. So what I want to do is I want to switch these out for a new door. So I'm going to minimize this down and see if this has any doors in the level. And it does. So there's a set of doors right here. One, actually it's perfect because there's 2 pieces. So I'll select the left hand side. I'll select the left hand side here. I'll click on this arrow. And I don't know if that's going to work that way. It should. Gate door. Oh, that's what I have to do. I have to click on this in here. Then over here, I browse to it. And it brings me to that gate. Then inside here, I click on the little arrow. And it brings it up. I'll have to scale this to the correct dimension by the look of it. So the first thing I want to do is rotate this around. Push E. Probably want to make sure that this snap grid is on, and I'll rotate this over till I get to 90 degrees, and I will drag this over like that. That'll give me the first door. I probably want to keep it scaled the same way because I think it's going to suit the level. We'll check in a minute. Then I want to do the same thing. I'm going to grab this door, and I think the other side is just mirrored, so I'm going to grab the other door, push the arrow, and that's going to replace that with this one. Push E or select the rotate up here. Rotate this inward 90 degrees. Push W or click on this up here. Then I can transfer this over here. And we should have our door. So something like this. Doesn't have to be perfect for mine. You guys can spend some time and make yours great. I'm going to click compile and save. I might have to adjust some of this. So this is a blocking volume. This is what prevents the player from being able to walk through this, or the zombies. So this may or may not be okay. We'll have to adjust it. So what I want to do is come back to where this door should be. I'm going to move this out of the way for now. Then I'm going to search for my doors. HGT, blueprints, doors, door 1. Drag that in. And I'm going to rotate it around. Just like that. And put it in here. And I'm going to scale it up. So I'm going to push R. That's going to scale it up. 1 second. Alright, so once that's scaled up, I'm going to scale this up, click on the little white square and drag it up. That looks about okay. You might have to do some adjusting, but I want this to be in the right orientation and this to be blocked off. So I'm going to open my blueprint again, and then my trigger box, my door trigger, I want that to span the whole width of this door. So I click on the trigger box, and I click on the scale, and I expand this out just like that. So now if I'm standing anywhere in front of this door, I can unlock it. And then the blocking collision box in the back, same thing. I'm going to scale that the whole width of this. And that's perfect. Compile and save. And then inside of this new zone, if I click on this here, you'll see entered zone to activate. You want to make sure that it says zone_1 for your new door. So when I go into this new zone, zone_1, that's what zombies are going to be in here. So I can delete this door now, I don't need it, because I have my new one. And then over here I have the zombie that I copied, which is a zone 1 zombie. I'm going to bring him over. Bring him all the way over. So when I unlock this door, then the zone 1 zombies are going to spawn. I'm just going to find somewhere to spawn them from. This would be okay, I suppose. Well, this is... I can use this for some other stuff. I kind of want to unlock that later on. So I'm just going to put him in here for now. So he's going to spawn right here. He's going to be a zone 1 zombie. Maybe you want 2 spots. So I'm going to duplicate him, Control W, bring him over here. And now I have 2 spawners in the next zone. And the same thing goes for the next zone. So if you want to get rid of these doors, these are not a blueprint door, you can just get rid of them. If you want to have another zone, you can do the same thing. You can take your blueprint for your door, duplicate this. You can bring this down here. And you guessed it, zone 2. Change this 1 to a 2. Do the same thing with the zombies. Bring this zombie, duplicate him, and then in this new zone, what will happen is this will be a zone 2 zombie. So when you change that to a 2. So now all these zone 2 zombies can spawn when you open the zone 2 door. And so on and so on. Your next area you'd have a zone 3 zombies. And you also do the same thing with the boss spawners. So I can grab this boss spawner, Control C, and then in here, right click, edit, paste here, and now I have a zone 1 boss because I'm going to put the start zone for this boss zombie to zone 1_1. And then all of a sudden I have this other boss zombie, but maybe I want this boss zombie to be different from the first one. So what I do is I go to HGT, AI zombie, boss, and I already have this boss zombie here, so I could create a child blueprint of this as well again. So I'm going to create a child blueprint class from the base zombie. I'm going to call it boss 02. And I can drag that in the boss folder. And then I would set him up the same way. So I go into, I have that whole undead pack. I can find maybe a skeleton enemy. Same thing. I can delete his skeleton off. Type in UE4. I have the mannequin. Make sure this is the right mannequin. You might have more. Make sure it's the HGT one. Replace reference. And then save selected. Save all. It's probably going to give me an error because it adds a few extra bones in. That's okay. So if I select my skeleton now, and then I go to my new boss zombie that we just made, SK skeleton. So inside HGT, AI zombie, boss zombie, zombie 02. Open the full blueprint, mesh, and what did I say that was? SK skeleton, select that. That may have to compile some shaders for a second because I haven't used him before. That's fine, it's just going to take its time and it will compile. So while that's compiling, there it is. And I'm going to have to save that again to get all the animations, because it's got to add a few extra bones. And that's just going to take a second. And then back to my zone 1 spawner, right here, where it says boss zombie, boss to spawn. I'm going to go to boss 2. And what that'll do is it'll give me this different zombie now. So this guy's going to spawn in there. And you can do the same thing for the next zone. In the next zone, you can keep the same boss. Doesn't really matter. Same thing goes for your zombie spawners. You can change these out to your new zombies that we made. And that's all there is to it for making your own level. Just use your imagination from there. Have a good one.